Welcome to the afternoon session of our 2017 budget hearing.
Thank you.
Would Councilman Bruce Blakeman please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll.
Supervisor Santino.
Aye. Here.
Councilman Ambrosino.
Here.
Councilman Blakeman.
Here.
Councilman Diaz-Canseco.
Here.
Councilwoman Boothby. Here. Councilman Hughes.
Here.
Councilman King Sweeney. Here. Receiver of taxes, Donald Excavator.
Here.
Okay, would you please call the first item?
Preliminary budget, Town of Hempstead for fiscal year commencing January 1st, 2017.
Okay, I have no one at this time who has asked, who has signed in to be heard on the budget, on the town budget for 2017, the first item on account. Okay, and you did not sign in, but if you come to the podium, please, name and address for the record.
Donna Piazza, 405 Coleridge Road, Rockville Center, New York. Sanitation number 6. Their workers' comp line item, 8050, which all the sanitary special districts have. In 2 years, their workers' comp line item has gone up 100%. It's doubled. It went from $2,000,004 in 2015. It's now at $4,027,000. Do we have someone from one of these? And almost every one of the other districts with workers' comp is not that out of whack.
Okay, Mr. Conlon? Yes. Controller.
The question is regarding to sanitary district 6 as it relates to workers' compensation, enormous increase. Point of reference, we meet with all of the commissioner operating districts, and we did meet with sanitary district 6, and we did raise that issue. That issue is being driven by, according to sanitary district 6, a very sizable material claim that is pending, and that's what basically is giving rise to the difference. And you're also right, all the other districts, not all, the majority of all the other districts are up significantly. And what we're seeing is awards are being handed down by the workers' comp board, which we have no control. And this budget and their budgets are predicated on what we expect those awards to be, also predicated on spending.
Okay, then the second question I have is, the fire districts are never in the budgets because of their fiscal year is different. Their meetings are on October 23rd. Who looks at their budgets? I've been to these meetings for the last couple of years, and I never hear or any resolutions with respect to the special district, each fire district that has their own budget. No one votes on the budgets, and how are they approved by the staff?
All right, what's our role with respect to fire district?
With regard to the fire district, the regulatory authority of the fire district lies with the state of New York. We have no authority. Our authority is limited.
So the state controller's office.
State controls.
Yes.
So no tax.
State controller's office. Okay, thank you. Well, anyone else on the budget? At this time, I'll accept the motion to recess this hearing until this evening, 7:30 p.m. 7 o'clock, I missed 7 p.m.
Supervisor Santino.
Aye.
Councilman Ambrosino.
Aye.
Councilman Blakeman.
Aye.
Councilman Diaz-Canseco.
Aye.
Councilwoman Boothby. Councilman Hughes.
Aye.
Councilwoman King Sweeney.
Next item, sir.
Proposed assessment rule, Greater Atlantic Beach Water Reclamation District for fiscal year commencing January 1st, 2017.
Is there anyone who would like to be heard on the Greater Atlantic Beach Water Reclamation District proposal? There being none, I will accept a motion to recess that item until 7 p.m. this evening.
Mr. Supervisor, I move to recess this hearing till 7 p.m. this evening on the Greater Atlantic Beach Water District.
Supervisor Santino.
Aye.
Councilman Emerson. Councilman Blakeman.
Aye.
Councilman Diaz-Pasito.
Aye.
Councilman Boothby. Councilman Hughes. Councilman P. Sweeney.
Aye. The board stands in recess until 7 p.m. this evening. Thank you.
Supervisor Santino.
Here.
Councilman Emerson. Councilman Blakeman.
Here.
Councilman Diaz-Pasito.
Here.
Councilman Boothby. Councilman Hughes.
Here.
Receiver of taxes, Donald X. Blakeman.
Here.
Okay. Madam Clerk, would you just call case number 969, the preliminary budget for the town of Hempstead? Would you call that reopen again, please?
Preliminary budget, town of Hempstead for fiscal year commencing January 1st, 2017.
Okay. That's okay. I have one slip at the moment from an interested resident, Diane Madden. Name and address for the record, please.
I am Madden, 243 Cherry Place, Smeadow, New York. I'd just like to start on page 77. I had some questions about where it says account for all monies and receipts concerning the animal shelter under general services and public safety. Could someone explain to me what that means? And
Let's just,
Mr. Conroy, if you would.
yes, if you could just allow me to get to that page. I'm sorry, what was your question?
where it says account for all monies and receipts concerning the shelter. So whose responsibility is that?
It's basically a joint effort. It's at the shelter. When we receive gets deposited, reconciliation is done out of control.
Oh, I'm sorry. Could you repeat that? I don't
This
understand.
is a narrative as to what the animal shelter does, whose responsibilities and the policies and procedures. The receipt is taken at the animal shelter. It is properly accounted for, deposited timely, and reconciled by my firm.
Okay, and what about the Tales of Hope Fund, the cash deposits?
It's the same process. I can give you, I have details on that. Tales of Hope, as of October 12th, at a balance of $11,938. Again, the procedures, policy, and the internal controls regarding taking the receipts, making the deposits, and the expenditures follow suit.
Okay, so who's responsible for those donation boxes, the cash donation boxes? Who takes in that money? Who counts that money? What is the process?
That's at the animal shelter. That is at the animal shelter. It's a lockbox, hard to put, in fact, audit that. I have a whole write-up on the policies and procedures, and the internal controls regarding that are adequate. And I also will say that the state controller, when the state controller did its audit of the animal shelter, they did have the same findings, with minor recommendations that we did implement.
That you have policies and procedures concerning, is that what you're saying?
We have formal policies and procedures that we follow. So the state auditor did an audit a number of years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, and had some recommendations to improve those policies and procedures as it relates to internal controls, and we have since implemented them.
Okay, that's what I understood. The item where it says, institute legal proceedings against owners of dogs believed to be dangerous, photograph and advertise all adoptable dogs and cats at the animal shelter through display over the internet and newspapers in an effort to find them homes.
Now, that's one of their policies and procedures at the animal shelter.
Okay, for advertising in the newspaper. And then on page 123, please. I'm sorry, 122. two. Well, first question, the line item, which appears to be new, it says placement of animals. Could you be more specific?
Our understanding here is that we now have a new procedure where we try to outsource place animals. That 30,000 represents the cost to place the animal elsewhere. It's a travel cost and a lot.
So travel,
And someone who takes in the dog will incur expenses, medical, food, etc. He compensates them accordingly, and it comes out of this line.
so would that be going to individuals, to rescue organizations?
My understanding, it would be opened up to anyone who in fact qualifies. Could be an individual, could be a rescue. That's something to check.
Okay. And where would I find the TMR item? Where are those expenses? Near the return?
Yeah, as Mike points out, it could be a number of these things. It could be fees and services, could be medical, could be a number of these items. I can get you, it's not one particular account, any one of these accounts, it could
I
span.
would appreciate that. I know last year we had this conversation, I never did get it.
Well, I will make sure the next meeting you'll have it
Thank you very much.
as well.
The crematory expense, where can I find that?
That's in fees and services, 4151, what you're looking at.
So it's somewhere in there. So we have no way of knowing if it's gone up, if it's gone down.
Well, I can tell you what the number is. The number is 275,000. The amortization on that is as follows. Dr. Singh is 140,000, behaviorist 80,000, crematory and animal hospital.
Could you please slow down? I'd like to repeat that, please.
Fees and services, account 4151. Three components to it. Dr. Singh 140,000. Behaviorist 80,000. Crematory and animal hospitals, the remainder 55,000. Total 275,000.
You said crematory 55,000?
55,000, correct. And animal hospitals.
So it's mixed.
It's like that.
But that's not an item.
Sorry,
That's not an item. I'm talking about the contract, crematory
I'll
contract.
have to get you that.
Okay.
Well, it's my pleasure.
Page number 236.
Say again, 226?
236.
236, thank you.
Okay. The animal control officers, I believe there are 6. Well, there are 8 named here.
We're 8 budgeted in 60, 8 budgeted in 70.
I'm sorry?
Animal control officers, 8 positions budgeted in 16, 8 positions budgeted in 17.
I understand, but there are only 6 animal control officers at the shelter.
And this budget is counting for an additional 2 positions.
Carrying the budget for 2.
Correct.
Clerk, laborer, are there 2? Do you happen to know? I was under the impression there's just 1 clerk laborer.
There are 2 positions budgeted for. Is your question, are there physically 2 positions filled at this point? Yes.
And it looks like the difference in this budget is not a lot. Where would I find the night watchman positions? Where would that category be? Would that be included in?
Probably would be, I'd have to check with, more likely public safety. and that's subject to check.
Okay. And I just wanted to point out, Supervisor, that food allotment went down extremely, a great deal. The food allotment went down a lot, the advertising went down a lot. And although 30,000 was saved, that 30,000 appears that it's all of those part-timers that were mostly hands-on care. So those that have suffered the most with this budget this year are the animals and the people that care for them directly. Thank you.
Thank you. Mary Ellen Craig.
Mary Ellen Craig, 436 Locust Avenue, in Riverdale. Thank you. My compliments on your budget message. I have a question. What are the kinds of discretionary things which were removed from the budget? What types of areas are considered discretionary, please?
I'll let the controller specify that.
That's a very good question. Those would be costs incurred by the town that would be deemed as non-contractual and non-mandated by regulatory bodies. For example, materials and supplies, pool supplies, there's a whole list. It basically comes under the umbrella of non-mandated and non-contractual. But we're bound under the contracts and mandated costs to meet certain expenditure levels.
The other question, or one other question I had was, what is the difference between library districts and public library districts?
A library district is a district that is a commissioner-operated district where elected members people are elected by the voters in the library district in which they reside, and they are elected to be the management, the board of a particular library. Library funding district is something where there is the sole purpose of the library funding district is to contract with another library, either a district library, a school library, a village library, in order to provide library service to individuals who would not otherwise be served by a library. In that case, the town board acts as the board for the library funding district and negotiates with the host library, whether it's a village, as I said, school, or a commissioner district-operated library. It's very similar to the distinction between a fire district and a fire protection district. In the case of a fire protection district, the town board is the governing authority. Fire districts have their own boards of commissioners.
I must have not pronounced things carefully because it's between a library district and a public library district.
Oh.
Now, for example, I knew that Uniondale Library, public library, is here, and when I looked under library districts and did not find it, I was, wondering what happened, and then went a little further and found the public library district. So,
I don't know if that's under the control of the town attorney can answer, but
There are some library districts that are run by schools, and there's some library districts that are public library districts that are run by commissioner operating districts, as the supervisor said.
so then the library districts are the ones that are run by the schools.
Essentially, yes. Yeah.
And the public library districts are like ours, which are
Right.
library board. Thank you. I'm wondering about the town hall repairs, and I don't know which area that goes under, but I'm very happy to see this historic building being, kept for the future. But as you may or not remember, I have asked about the clock. Is that going to be part of
it's in this current repair process that's going on right now.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I'm impressed because,
It will now tell the time more than twice a day.
well, as I told you once before, I hate to see this town seem to be behind the times. So again, the difference between general parks and park districts.
Park districts are districts that are run park facilities that are exclusively for the use of the residents of those park districts who pay an additional tax on their tax bill in order to fund the functions of the park district. General parks are open to all residents of the town and are paid for by all the residents of unincorporated areas. That's the general park fund. The tax is paid by all residents of unincorporated areas for that. A park district, Franklin Square jumps to mind, operates Raft Park. There is a special tax levied on the people in that particular district that goes to pay for that park, whereas, and it's only for the use of those people who pay for it, whereas a general park is open to all the residents. It's paid for by a tax levied on the tax bill of all the residents of the unincorporated areas.
Thank you. And you know that I am very concerned to keep services up to senior citizens. The services which the town provides are excellent and very much appreciated, keeping us fit and healthy and our minds going. So that's one area I do not want to see discretionary cuts.
We are firmly committed to all of our, there are no cuts in town services in any of our operations. We're just doing more with less.
Well, I hope that we don't see any red spots in really important places. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Lucille Defina.
Good evening. I just want to ask about
Name and address for the record.
Lucille Tafina, 2749 Merrick Avenue, Merrick. Is the $30,000 that is now in the budget for, this is money for rescue organizations and for rescue individuals?
How are we going through that again, please?
This is a new program where we have provided $30,000 to place animals outside of the outside of the shelter itself into, I believe, institutions or individuals who will care for the animals. That $30,000 represents transportation of the animal as well as a stipend that is paid to the caregiver, whereby the caregiver has incurred medical expenses, food expenses, and the like for the animal.
So that's pretty much what was being done all along all these years for no additional money, and now there's going to be.
Utilized in the budget as a specific line item. It's budgeted at $30,000.
Okay, is there a policy and a procedure that has been put into effect to who is going to determine which of these rescue organizations are getting this money? And is there a policy and
I believe there
procedure?
is a policy. We can certainly get you that policy. And I'm sure there is a vetting process and due diligence regarding that to ensure that whoever is the recipient of the animal is a proper and adequate caretaker.
Okay, how could you just said that we would get you that information, how would you get that
So the
information?
town attorney will agree with you, you can foil it.
Foiling, yes, well, I have tried to foil in the past, the approved placement partners, and I was told I was not privileged to that information. So I don't understand how I can be denied that information, but now that extra money is going to some of these partners that we don't even know or think are reputable, because we know most of the animals from the town of Hempstead shelter have been going out of state. They've been shipping them off in droves, and we have no idea where they're going. Meanwhile, there's many local rescue organizations wanting to help, offering to help, and they're being denied. They're being told that we don't need your help. So what's going on here? Why is extra money being given to out-of-state rescues that no one's...
We're kind of getting away from the budget presentation. I'm sure Mr. Rohr, our town attorney, whatever information that we have that is publicly available, we will get that to you on the program.
Yeah, I think it's important because there's too many local, good, reputable rescuers being denied, and they would do it for nothing. They would do it for free.
Do that, and let's make it, that we can make it available, let's make it available.
Okay, and as far as the advertising, as Diane had said, there was only $2,500 in the budget in 2015, and then it went down to 1,000, and now it's only 500. It just goes to show you that the plan is just to get these animals out to rescue wherever, whoever they are, just get them out the door and not adopt these animals, not to see that they're getting into good, safe, solid homes. So with the little measly $500 that's now allocated, which doesn't go very far, where has this money been going? Where have you been advertising animals for adoption? Because I haven't seen anything in years. So where is this little budget being
So
spent?
that's then more of a policy question, and we will be happy to get you the answer as to where the money is going.
Okay, it's not much to speak of, which tells me that they don't really care to adopt animals. You just care to get them out of state to rescue organizations that nobody knows about. What is this institute legal proceedings against owners of dogs believed to be dangerous?
From time to time, we get called to pick up vicious animals, vicious dogs, dogs who have been in altercations with either other humans or other dogs, and we have to commence proceedings in court in order to get possession of those dogs because the owner, for one reason or another, may not want to give up the dog. And so we institute legal proceedings.
Okay. Now with the new fees, because if an owner is surrendering their dog for euthanasia, they are paying, the last I heard was something like, was it $300 or something like that? I'm not sure what it was. I think $340. So that would be a surplus of money coming into the shelter since there is suddenly a major increase in the amount of dogs that are being turned into the shelter as owner turned in for destroyal. It used to be that owners only turned in their dogs or cats for destroyal because they were very, very sick. But now it seems that the amount is doubling, and at the same time the fees have doubled. So has anybody anticipated that there's going to be a surplus in the budget for the amount of dogs turned in to be killed?
I would think that perhaps, I don't want to speak for the controller, but they probably want to separate that line out, and that's why you see a separate line.
Okay.
And add to that, there's a separate line in the budget, and yes, we do anticipate with regard to a fee increase, an additional amount of monies. Whether that turns out to be a surplus, or depends upon the amount of money spent at the animal shelter. But there is specific accounting as to receipts, and when we raise rates and fees, we project that accordingly in this budget, and that has been done in this budget.
Okay, well, that'll be interesting, because from what I observed so far, there's a lot of dogs that have been killed for $40, which is the surrender fee, and they've been killed for aggression. So it might have a problem, but we'll follow it. Okay, thank you.
Those are the only slips I have from residents interested, if there is, and no one else. Ms. Crabbe, we tend to have one to a customer at these things.
But don't I have a few more minutes left?
No, it doesn't work that
I'd
way.
like to ask you to keep the youth in mind with the parks.
Duly noted. Thank you, Ms. Crabbe.
Homes, work with community land.
Thank you very much. There being no one else at this time, I'll accept the motion.
move that we close the public hearing and adopt the budget.
Second.